Honorable Kasana, you're holding brief for Kayini.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Chair of Trade, I will represent him. The Committee on Tourism, Cooperatives Development, Trade and Industrialization has a responsibility pursuant to the Nyandarua County Assembly standing orders and in line with the general responsibility or power of the County Assembly to oversight the County Executive and the entity of overseeing the respective departments' implementation of the budget as approved by the County Assembly. In line with this, the committee did request for the department budget implementation reports, where upon scrutiny, the committee ascertained that very pertinent information was missing in their submission, thereby prompting the committee to seek further information along with a consultative meeting with the department on matters of concern within their response. Arising from the foregoing, the committee hereby seeks leave awaiting a comprehensive submission by the department and report back to the House on the department's budget implementation report for the year 2023-2024 within the next 90 days thereof. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I take...
Thank you, Honorable Hassan. The progress report is duly tabled, and the leave sought is well explained and deserving, and so I grant it as sought. Chairperson, ensure the report is ready within the timeline requested, that is of 90 days. Next order.
Under the same order, Mr. Speaker, sir, there is a report by Honorable Joseph Kuriethu, the Chairperson, Committee on Youth Affairs, Sports and Arts.
Very well. Honorable Joseph Kuriethu, Chairperson, Committee on Youth Affairs, Sports and Arts. Anybody holding his brief? Any member of the committee who has got any information in regard to that? Clerk, next order.
As per the leave sought, order number 6. There is no business at that order. Order number 7. Other statements. There is a statement by Honorable Zachary Mwangijero, the Chairperson, Committee on Finance, Economic Planning and ICT.
Very well. Honorable Zachary Mwangijero, Chairperson, Committee on Finance, Economic Planning and ICT. I'm aware he's chairing another committee, but anybody with Honorable Kate?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the Committee of Finance and on behalf of the Chair, I wish to respond to a statement. Which we had previously tabled in this House, and the House had said that the information tabled was insufficient on the EIA, which is Environment Impact Assessment services within the county collected for the expenditures of 2017-18, 2022-23. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Samuel Rumwe-Kayani, who is not in the House, sought for information from the committee on the EIA services within the county, the funds collected for the services of expenditure within the year 17-18, 22 and 23. And Honorable Speaker, I believe because this statement had been before the House, members are quite aware of what the Honorable Rumwe-Kayani was requesting for. In the BQs, there is usually an amount. This is all the wordings that is in page 4 and page 5 there is an amount sought for environmental impact assessment, and that was the amount that the engineer sought to find out where the money goes, who does it, and how much has been accumulated within the time that it has been sought. And as a committee, this is what we found, and especially within our second sitting. That before I go to that, maybe you can also look at page 7, page 8. Members, the document is in our gadgets, and you'll see the annexures that have been attached. And in our findings, we found that the terms of reference in Annex 2 gives a report on the background sought from existing laws like the EMCA 1999 legal notice number 31, the EIA and audit amendment regulations of 2019, and it further gives the process of environmental social impact assessment methodology, which involves screening, scoping, establishment of environmental baseline, review analysis of alternative impact analysis, public involvement and consultation, among others. Additionally, the annexures show the notification of awards of EIA assessments. However, the conditions of the contracts notified were stated in the award of tender document, which was not availed to the committee. Our findings on number 3 was that when and how the EIAs were conducted and amounts paid for each assessment. The lead experts conducted the assessment to all projects and submitted the ESIA reports from NEMA for approval, who then issued approval reports for each project submitted by the lead experts. The amendment of the second schedule of the Environmental Management and Conservation Act 1999 of 2019, local roads and access roads were classified as low-risk projects. The Amendment Regulation 7 requires the proponent of a low-risk project to submit to the authority a summary project report of likely environmental effects of that project. Now, the department did not collect any funds from the EIA remittance, considering that the county projects were low risk. It's only processing fees that were to be paid by the proponents to the authority. On page 9, there's a table there that shows the amounts paid to the EIA experts. You can see in 2020, 2021, the company Suluhisho was paid 2.46 million. Contemporary Arc Concepts, another company, for all Kalau, all Joro, Kipipiri, and Daragwa sub-counties was paid another 2.4. Medlin Investments was paid 4.9. And 2022-23, Zolu Investment Limited was paid close to 3 million. Now, our findings as the committee reviewed the NEMA approvals subject to some conditions listed in the approval letter. It noted that not all NEMA approvals relate to the period under review. In fact, some approvals were for the year 2024. It was not possible to ascertain that the firms that were contracted by the Department of Roads for the period 2017-18, 2022-23 got approvals for NEMA. There was also no revenue reported for EIA, since the funds withheld from the contractors is paid to the EIA expert and none is reported as revenue. The Kenya Gazette Supplementary number 62, Legal Notice 31, the EICA Act number 8 of 1999 amendments of the second schedule classifies local roads facility access as low-risk projects. And fourthly, the basis of computing the EIA fees for various projects, the amount paid to EIA experts, and the amount remitted to NEMA. The basis for computing the EIA fees for the department projects as per the 5th schedule of the for the environment, that is Impact Assessment and Audit, Regulations 2003 as reviewed by Gazette Notice number 13 to 11 of 2013 of EIA, processing and monitoring fee at 0.1% of the total project cost to a minimum cost of 10,000 paid to the authority for the proponents. In our conclusion, the committee is of the opinion that the environmental impact assessment should be conducted by the county government and funds allocated in the county budget. This will give room for genuine assessment, which will be conducted before engaging of a contractor, where if a project has a negative impact, it can be cancelled with no loss of funds and breach of contract. That, I believe, is the final submission from the committee, this being the second for the same statement that was sought by the engineer from Githarai Ward. And with me here, honorable speakers, I have annexures that I will submit so that any member who would want to go through them will find them at the table office. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Catherine. In response to the statement sought by Honorable Samuel Mwikayani on contracting of environmental impact assessment services within the county funds corrected for the services and expenditure therein for financial year 17-18 and 22-23. The response report is duly tabled and read. The seeker of the statement, that is Honorable Samuel Kayeni, but he is not present. Yes, Honorable Milka. Yes, you appear to be very passionate in this area.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, yes, I am very passionate about work being done professionally and by professionals. Mr. Speaker, I have had an opportunity to go through this report, though not deeply, but I want to commend the committee that they have brought up the report, of course, with the response that they have gotten from the department concerned. However, Mr. Speaker, I have also seen their recommendation that the EIA should be conducted by the county government and money allocated in the budget. However, Mr. Speaker, there's still very glaring issues that needs to be addressed by this assembly, Mr. Speaker. And if we do not address these issues, Mr. Speaker, then probably somebody will raise a question and we'll be here to answer these questions, Mr. Speaker. Number one, we have seen that there were some monies that were paid to some EIA persons and experts, Mr. Speaker. The question, and I don't know whether it has been answered here because I have not seen it, how were they contracted and what work did they do? Which projects, Mr. Speaker, did they work on, and how then were they contracted? Why I'm asking this question, and members will bear me witness, is that the contractors in this county government, before being paid, they were told to bring a complete EIA report, and the money was paid to the county government accounts. So then, if the contractors brought a report, then that means the contractors themselves paid the reports. And those who did not pay the reports then, they were not paid. So the question is, if the contractors brought the reports themselves, that means the contractors engaged the EIA expert directly. Then how comes then there were other experts who were paid out of that money? That's something that needs to be addressed and needs to be addressed by the committee, maybe in future. Number two, Mr. Speaker, EIA report is very critical in terms of World Bank money, World Bank compliance. And Mr. Speaker, sometimes we joke with some recommendations by the World Bank, and we end up losing money because we have not met the requirements of the World Bank. EIA is a requirement of the World Bank. And how used to happen previously is that all the projects were consolidated into one block, and then it is advertised by the county government that we are doing EIA for the project this financial year in Nyandarua County. Then experts apply to do the EIA for Nyandarua County project, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, I wish moving forward that the county government could consolidate all the projects into one, then get an expert, do the EIA for the projects of Nyandarua so that we can comply with the World Bank and other requirements by law. However, Mr. Speaker, these people are not able to answer where the money goes and how much money was paid in terms of EIA to the county government's account. This, they need to go look further and get us the actual figure on how much was paid into the account. They have said it is not revenue. Then we need to know if it was not revenue, how much was deposited in the account and how much was paid out and where did it go. They need to go and research further on that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. An advocate.
If there is no other addition, Honorable Speaker, I think the committee will do just that. We'll do just that and ensure that we get to do the companies. However, the documents I have submitted there as annexures to the table clerk have a few of those companies that had the EIA assessment, and those projects, when you see table 2 on page 9, those amounts, the projects are within those annexures there. So we have submitted those projects from the county. So I think the information is within this assembly.
So this is the final document on progress.
Honorable Speaker, the information that has been sought by the member from Kirita, her concerns are addressed in the annexure.
They are within this.
Yes.
Is that so, member for Kirita?
There are several issues that they said they were not able to identify, and these are the issues. They are in the report. Yes, they are annexed us in the report. But in their report, they said there are several issues that were not able to get the actual figures. And that is where the rubber now meets the road. Those areas that they were not able to identify is what we are requesting, if they could dig further, because that is where the problem is. But other issues are addressed, but there are areas where they could not be able to identify the amount and stuff like that. It is written in the report. So that is what we are requesting, if they could dig further and probably even involve an auditor to get the actual figures, because that is where the problem is.
Maybe member for specially elected from Kirita, how do you close the gap where the rubber meets the road? That is why you've stated that there were information that you are not able to identify. Because from what I'm getting from member for Kirita is that they are not satisfied with the response, but only on that gap whether you stated that this information you are not able to get. Would you have to say about that?
Honorable Speaker, that money was sent directly by the contractor to the EIA company. So that would only mean that we go through every BQ and establish who paid and who did not pay. Yes. That is where we have now to go from the year 2017, 18, and 2022, 2023.
Member for Kirita? Maybe to guide a bit, in the place where you stated that there is some information you are not able to get, is it because of the timeline or laxity by the provider? of the information, or why was it not possible to get that information? Maybe you can assist if it's something that you can give directions.
Honorable Speaker, the reason the committee was not able to do that is because those financial statements are not within the county government, and the only information we can get is what is with the county government. The other information now we would have to do is go to individual contractors of the EIA and ask them to submit how much money has been paid to them by contractors from Nyandarua County paid to them as EIA.
Very well noted. So maybe in such circumstance, member for Kirita, if I got, yeah, what do you have to say?
I wish Honorable Kayano was here. I understand what Mheshimiwa is saying and what the committee is saying. That is okay. It is not what is with the contractors, because contractors did their work and they were paid. The actual issue is this money that was paid directly to the county government account. The one that they have said it is not revenue. The figure is not there. The figure of money that was paid to some EIA contractors by the county government is there, but the amount that got into their account is what they do not have. And the process of also procuring the EIA experts for the government, for the money that was paid by the government, not the one for the contractors. Actually, the question was the one that was, you know, the issue of this thing is that there is money that is paid to the county government's account that is not accounted for. That was the question. The contractors are being paid. If you do not provide an EIA report, then pay money to the account, the county government account. So the question was, how much was paid into that, and what was the process of contracting? You know, the process. So I think they would look further into that from the county government, not from the contractors, because the contractors did their work. It is the money that is deposited in their account by the contractors who did not provide the EIA report.
Thank you. Maybe, probably, the information, maybe member for Kirita you are seeking, it is within the county government. It's something that cannot be obtained. So maybe, Honorable Kate, what we can do, we can accord you more time to see if you'll be able to get that information. Because if it's information within the county government, and where you need our assistance, if need be, we'll be there to assist. Because it's quite sensitive when a statement is sought and the seekers are not satisfied. But we are aware it's probably within the county government. We will commit to assist where we can. Maybe probably what time would you need to get the information that was not identified?
Honorable Speaker, considering the timelines, the calendar, noting that this assembly closes even in less than a month, and we shall resume in February, probably I would request that we are given February and March to work on it. That will be 60 days from the next session resumption.
Mr. Speaker, you have point of...
Yes, 60 days.
Yes,
that's
60
okay.
days from resumption of the next session.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Honorable Denji, what is it?
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I want to, through your discretion, to ask if the money from the EIA, from the contractors, have paid to the EIA. If it is possible to get the statement, I don't know. I just need your interference for the advice. Thank you.
Member for Special Elected from Kirita, respond.
Honorable Speaker, I'm not sure I am aware. I'm not sure I understand very well what the Honorable from Rori Ward has asked. But
maybe he would come up again. Honorable Denji, come up again.
Mr. Speaker, I was trying to inquire from our honorable member here from the committee, because most of the monies that are paid through accounts, even or anywhere else, we must be having the kind of flow, either in the statement form, so that the the matter can be a bit clearer.
Yes, Honorable Kadri. Evidence of payment.
Honorable Speaker, I think we will get back to work, and within that time frame I have given, then I think we will see and consider that issue.
That's okay.
Thank
So
you.
maybe the two concerned can be conjoined and attended together.
Thank you.
So clerk, next order.
Under the same order, there is a statement by Honorable Edward Obogo Kengori, the Chairperson, Committee on Public Service Administration and Devolution.
Very well. Honorable Edward Wambugo Kingori, Chairperson, Committee on Public Service Administration and Devolution.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Committee of the Public Service Administration and Devolution had to look upon the statement that was sought by a member from Magumu, Honorable Muhidi Kariuki. That is on 20th day of August 2024. And Honorable Speaker, the committee went ahead to look upon it. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, the committee went ahead to look upon the statement. Honorable Speaker, among other, these were the questions that were raised by the member. One is a comprehensive report on the status of the payment of the facilitative and remunerative allowances in every department, including JM County Referral Hospital, Engineer Hospital, all boards and municipality, detailing 1. Criteria used in the payment of the allowances. B. Justification for the delays experienced in payment of the allowances. Number 2. A report on the pending staff allowances in each department of the executive, including JM County Referral Hospital, Engineer Hospital, all boards and municipalities. 3. A report on the payment status of non-practicing allowances to professionals in the county and the officers eligible for such allowances. And 4. A summary of all pending allowances, the proposals to expedite the payment and measures put in place by respective accounting officers to ensure there are no future delays. And 5. A delayed breakdown of the absorption of the recurrent expenditure in the budget for financial year 2022-2023 and financial year 2023-2024 in all departments, including JM County Referral Hospital, Engineer Hospital, all boards and municipalities, total allowances paid to public officers and their respective pending allowance during the financial year, during the same period. Honorable Speaker, the committee came out with these observations. Following further observation and findings, most of the departments, offices, and authority presented documentation that could not be relied upon to arrive at verifiable conclusion. Honorable Speaker, presentation, for example, of information only on same of officers' amounts, paid designation and payments description were unreliable, since the committee could not justify those payment of officers actually happened, since facilitative allowances are paid with money from public cover. Any information on them should be disclosed to an investigative oversight body. In this regard, the committee concluded that details of bank accounts and names of bank to which the allowances were remitted should be made available for verification. Honorable Speaker, the committee concludes that provision of information only only on activities conducted was not exhaustive. In view of this, the committee observed that confirmable documentation of the venues of the activity should be provided. This could comprise attendance register and the actual days during which the activities were held. Some departments submitted documentation indicating a broad figure paid to a group of officers. The committee found this to be highly vague, hence unreliable, since it could not depend on this information to compute the exact amount paid to specific officers. Honorable Speaker's principles of finance reporting dictate that expenditures of public finance must be laid bare with exactitude to avoid incidents of impeding accountability and deferred transparency. Honorable Speaker, the committee noted a threat by the department to capture natures of officers to which the facilitative allowances were paid without their titles and job group skills. This led the committee to cast deep doubt on the veracity of the amount paid to specific officers, as well as the authenticity of the correspondence between the allowances limited and individual officers' job group and skills. So, Honorable Speaker, the committee came out with this resolution. 1, request for more information on sampled bank statements, bank details related to the remittance of the facilitative and remunerative allowances. 2, invite specific officers to whom the facilitative and remunerative allowances were owed. 3, request for any other information that would assist the committee in deriving a conclusive determination of the matter under inquiry. And 4, request this August House to grant the committee 45 days to conduct the investigation hinted above. Related to that, Honorable Speaker, looking at this report and what is expected from this Honorable House, by the fact that the member came out with the questions as I have highlighted them, Honorable Speaker, we also need your indulgence from the Office of the County Secretary so that the committee be furnished with the proper documentation and the information that is required by this Honorable House. Honorable Speaker, other than that, even if you give us 45 days, we may not be able to come out with a proper report from this to this Honorable House. So, Honorable Speaker, I seek your indulgence as the Chair of the House so that we be furnished with the proper information and the documentation that is required.
The progress response on the special statement sort on the status of payment, and the response report is duly tabled and read. That is the progress. The seeker, any reaction? Yes, Honorable DS.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, from the onset, the committee seems to have done very little. Actually, I would say too little, too late. Honorable Speaker, the matter at hand touches on allowances, benefits that members of the staff from the executive are entitled to accrue. And the Honorable Speaker, today marks the marks 45 days since the statement was sought by Honorable Muhendi. And Mr. Speaker, the matter seems, going by the preliminary report brought to this House today by Honorable Wambugu Kingori, the matter seems to be surrounded with a lot of, surrounded by a shadow that the owners of information, or those who with the information, are either unwilling to divulge the information, to give the information. Either they are unwilling, reluctant,
or outright defiant to give this information. I believe there was a reason why this statement was sought. And this Honorable House is mandated to oversight, and through its committees, do give a comprehensive report to find out whether or not the allowances were denied, were paid, or diverted. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, your indulgence here is really needed and necessary as to which other step this Honorable House should take to ascertain. Because if the statement was sought because there are complaints, then this House serves as the rescue to those members of the staff. However, without the necessary information, the requisite information needed, it is really hard to find out whether or not there are problems with the allowances. Mr. Speaker, in my understanding and going through this report that is giving really very vague information, I wonder whether 45 days sort will give anything extra, because already 45 days have already lapsed and there is no substantial statement. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, your indulgence, I also add my voice that your indulgence is very needed here. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Kigori, respond. I know you've sought some time. Maybe the DS concerns can be addressed within the time frame that you've sought. However, we would like to hear it from you.
With your indulgence, Honorable Speaker. You know, Honorable Speaker, this is a House of Rules regulations. And obviously, Honorable Speaker, we are here to oversight the executive. And any documentation, information that we require from the other side of the arm of governance should, Honorable Speaker, come to this Honorable House. So that's why, as a committee, we seek your indulgence to this matter. And if you do so, Honorable Speaker, even 2 days, Honorable Speaker, with the information that is required and documentation, we can be able to bring back the report to this Honorable House. And that's why, Honorable Speaker, we requested the House to give us 45 days.
Thank you, Honorable Kingori. You will get all the necessary support that you need from my office and the office of the clerk to have the report back. Clerk, next order.
Order number 8. Under this order paper, Mr. Speaker, sir, there is no business to transact.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, what is it, Honorable Ruzi?
Maybe, Mr. Speaker, I would love to start by apologizing to you and to the House. There was a report on budget implementation that the Committee of Sport was supposed to read, and unfortunately, when we were supposed to read it, no member from the...
So you are set with the report?
Yes, I'm very set.
You can proceed. That is taking us back to order number. Clerk, that is order number?
Order number 5.
Let's go back to order number 5.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I would love to give a brief on the Department of Youth Sports Arts Budget Implementation Report. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee acknowledges its vital oversight role in monitoring, evaluating, and reporting on the quarterly and annual budget implementation for the Department of Youth, Sports, and Arts, as mandated by this House. It is a responsibility we take with utmost seriousness, recognizing its critical role in ensuring transparency, accountability, and proper utilization of public funds. On this note, Mr. Speaker, the committee has on multiple occasions sent official correspondence to the county, to the CCECM for youth empowerment, sports, and arts, requesting detailed budget implementation report for the year 2023-2024 financial year. Regrettably, the committee was consistently furnished with inadequate and unsatisfactory report that lacked the actual details required for the effective oversight and comprehensive analysis. Committee intervention. Mr. Speaker, in the light of the inadequate responses received, the committee convened a meeting on 15th October 2024 at 11 a.m. to engage directly with the department CCM, and relevant department officials were invited to provide both oral and written submission on the matter. Despite this effort, the submission presented at the meeting were once again lacking the key details. Number one, Mr. Speaker, there was lack of financial breakdown. The reports failed to provide the itemized breakdown of how funds allocated for various activities and projects under the department were utilized. This omission significantly hindered the committee ability to evaluate budgetary efficiency and effectiveness. The report was also allocated, Mr. Speaker. The report were unsigned by the CCM, reporting them indismissible as official documents before the committee. Moreover, the CECM declined to sign the report, citing concerns about their factual accuracy. The way forward from the committee, Mr. Speaker. Given the gravity of the issues, Mr. Speaker, the committee finds it's imperative to conduct further investigations to ensure the department is held accountable for the funds allocated to it. It commits to summon key department officials for further meetings to demand factual and comprehensive submissions from the department. Subsequently, the committee will prepare and table a comprehensive report complete with the actual recommendation. The committee therefore respectfully seeks the indulgence of this esteemed house to grant an addition of 90 days to enable a thorough review and engagement with the relevant stakeholders. Mr. Speaker, what has been happening with the Department of Sports? We've been trying to get the documents so that we can write a report to this out, the one that we asked for. Unfortunately, the CECM would evade. She would bring to the committee a block figure of the money they have used. There were no breakdowns. So maybe as a committee, our hands were somehow tied. We couldn't give a very comprehensive report. But moving forward, I feel the future is luminous, because maybe in future we might be having a new CCM. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. It's a bit of confusion. Thank you. The progress report is duly tabled, and probably the leave sort is well explained and maybe deserving, and so I grant it as sought, and Chairperson ensure it is tabled within the time that you have requested. Clerk, next order.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the business of this sitting as appearing on the paper has been exhausted.
There being no other business to transact under this sitting, I now adjourn the House to Tuesday, the 26th day of November 2024 at 9:30 a.m.